What's going on, everybody? It's Street Life Magazine giving you the inside look at Sheer Cold.
What's up? I'm Preston. I do vocals.
Give us a little background outside of the music industry. What do you enjoy? Where are you from?
Alright, so I'm raised in Vegas. I was born in Northern California. I'm like a huge gamer nerd, basically, and I just love doing metal vocals and I love playing shows.
Hell yeah. Give us a little introduction of the other bandmates.
Alright, so
Mark, I play guitar. I really don't do much else other than play guitar.
Nice.
I really don't.
It's dedication. Hell yeah.
I'm Lenny, I play bass and I have a dog.
Metal ass dog. I love the dogs.
Hell
All
yeah.
about the dogs.
Jevin, I play a little bit of the fiddle myself. I co-created this band with Preston Graff. I hit him up one day and it just was like peanut butter and jelly. It's a good day.
I'm Mark. I play drums for Sheer Cold, and I just kind of bang myself.
Hell yeah.
Who does your guys' artwork?
his name is Felipe Kai. He lives in Mexico, Mexico City. He did artwork in my old band, and actually the art he did, my other band members didn't want to use it, and it kind of upset me. But when I stopped being in that band, I hit him up to do our logo, and he actually did it for us for free, which is awesome. And he's worked with a lot of bands before. He plays in a band called Dead End at Disaster, and he's done artwork before for bands like Chelsea Grand. So he's really good and has a lot of experience, and I'm actually super lucky to have him. And I have a couple other people that have done art for us. My sister is one of us. She did the cryogenic revival artwork for it's a picture of me actually getting out of a cryogenic chamber. It's like cartoonized kind of.
Nice.
She does like a different style than the standard death metal. And then there's this other guy named Death Panorama who did our most recent artwork for our new single coming out called Hypothermic Hallucinations. And him and Felipe Kai of Brutality Illustrations, who did our logo, they're kind of collabing together, and he's doing a little bit of tweaks to it and stuff like that because he's also doing our lyric video.
Nice. We already covered it in the newest edition of Street Life Magazine, but I wanted you guys to hear it in person. Preston, how did you guys all form as a band?
Okay, so I was in a band called Gods of Hate. I was doing vocals in the band, and they were in let's just say I didn't get along with one of the members, and they had to decide which one goes pretty much because he didn't want to resolve the problem with me, and they decided to keep the other guy because he was married longer. So the day that happened, the day that I announced I wasn't in the band anymore, this motherfucker right here, who I was in a band with 10 years ago called Disowning the Damned, for a very brief period of the time he was in the band with me. It was like, it didn't really go anywhere. He joined like at the end of the band's life cycle, and he hit me up, and he was really good. He's fucking, honestly, he's a prodigy. He was 14 years old when I was in a band with him 10 years ago. He's 24 now. I'm 6 years older than him. And even though he's really young, I was still willing to be in a band with him because he was so much better than everyone that was my age at playing guitar. So, but even though that band didn't really go anywhere, 10 years later, he hits me up when he sees that I'm not in Gods of Hate anymore, and instantly, like, literally within a few hours after me knowing that I'm suddenly not in this fucking band, we fucking meet up, right? And I drive to him. I haven't seen this guy in fucking almost a decade. Like, dude, his style matches my style. And then this motherfucker right here is like living with him and shit. At first, you wanted him to come over, and I was like, no, I don't know this guy. I don't want him to come over.
I was like, oh, shut down.
But then, like a day later, on the phone, I could hear this guy who was just as excited about this band as you were. And I was like, okay, well, he sounds like excited about this. Let's fucking do it.
Yeah, ghostwrite for it. I was like, I want to ghostwrite the drums at least, you know.
Yeah, well, anyways, something my old drummer, my old band couldn't do is program drums. This guy could fucking program drums. So I was like, okay, well, you know what? Fuck it, dude. We have our. I was originally gonna have. I had two other drummers in mind actually. I'm not gonna say who they are. They're both in pretty big bands that are signed, but he just seemed so dedicated and just into it, and I was just like, fuck it, let's have him.
Oh, yeah.
And then very shortly after, fucking this guy who we shared the stage with the Black Dahlia Murder together. That's the biggest show I've ever played. He's played a lot of shows like that actually, like with his old band Vatican Falling. They were doing pretty successful in the scene, and then he was in that band for 4 years, right? About around 4 years, and that band, the other guitar player in that band was actually producing my last band too, and then so he stopped being in this band because he didn't get along with him. Kind of like a similar situation as me, and I seen him play Rose Funeral on guitar on Instagram on his 8-string, and I was like, that's like a band that I know and I love and I listen to. Like, fuck yeah, dude, I'm gonna fucking have this guy play guitar. And then so for our bass player, I had another guy in mind originally because he was already in a band, A Perfect Being, which has the same guitar player as my old guitarist from Impurity of Mira. And so I didn't think he would like want to be in this band, but like he's like good friends with him and shit. And he's like, no, he'll do it. So we didn't. He was actually on tour with A Perfect Being when he joined.
On tour.
So he learned our song on tour. Am I correct?
For the most part.
So yeah, he learned our first song on tour pretty much. And at first, like, we weren't sure if he was gonna be like a permanent member or like, you know, just a session member. He was down for whatever, but you know, his fretless bass and everything, we're just like, all right, dude, he has to be like a permanent member. And he's in two fucking bands at once and dedicated as fuck. And so is this guy right here. He's in Asylum of Ashes, and then these guys are in Plague Cell. Everyone in this band but me is in 2 bands, and we still fucking make it work.
That's how we do it.
Word up.
Making it happen. So I wanted to give all the dedicated fans out there a little heads up on the type of merch you guys have, where they can find it, and different social media links you guys run with.
Okay, so we just opened up a website for our merch called Newfound Merch, www.newfoundmerch.com. Right now we have 3 different colors. It's like the same shirt. It's just a like plain shirt with our logo right now. But in the future, we're gonna have all kinds of shirts. Not only that, like I'm looking at getting like face masks for COVID. I'm looking into getting like booty shorts, like all kinds of different shit you can wear, like other than just shirts. But yeah, just check that website and there should be hella merch there.
Alright. What about social media links?
So pretty much everything is like, for example, Instagram.com/SheerColdBand. Everything is like SheerColdBand with no spaces. So Facebook.com/SheerColdBand. Twitter.com/SheerColdBand. We even have a TikTok at SheerColdBand. I think the only thing that isn't like that is our Bandcamp. It's just sheercold.bandcamp.com. And that's all the social media I can think of.
Hell yeah. Preston, I'm curious, what makes your guys' music stand out in the metal scene?
Okay, so we have a 7-string guitar and 8-string guitar, which is common nowadays, but we have a fretless bass. We use a lot of different genres of metal into one. So, for example, our most recent song that we're about to be dropping has elements of technical death metal in it. It has elements of deathcore. It even has elements of metalcore. It has elements of fucking black metal. It has like pretty much all our songs have 6 to 7 different styles of metal, and even my vocals, like in Hypothermic Hallucinations, I'm doing like high-pitched screams, hardcore yelling, low growls, gutturals, like fry screaming, all kinds of different screaming, false chord screaming, like so many different styles all in one.
Nice. Bunch of flavor.
Yeah. Another thing that's unique about our band, and slightly controversial, and some people don't like it, but our guitar player doesn't use it. One of our guitar players, come here, motherfucker. You. He doesn't use a pick when he plays guitar.
As I'm
And
holding a guitar pick.
as it's like he looks like he's holding a pick, but he doesn't. He plays without a pick. And honestly,
Sometimes.
with the style of music, well, sometimes when we track, we do it. But like when you play live and shit, you don't use a pick. And honestly, it's like, it's different. You know, it's something unique that I can't think of any other bands where, like, they play music that heavy and they still decide to not use a pick.
You know what else too, man? I do a lot of slap bass in there too.
Oh yeah,
A lot
that
of
too.
slap bass and
A lot of
chords.
slapping.
On the
Oh,
fret.
yeah,
I don't even play in the same tune
our-
as you guys.
Another thing, our drummer, the style of drumming that you have, like, you don't even know what to expect next. You know, it's not just like a simple groove the whole time.
It's very mathy. gives you a chance to enjoy it throughout the measure it's all about. But yeah, what I've been exploring with lately is more fills, more jazzy.
Yeah. So even like jazz influenced drumming.
Technical
Definitely.
stuff.
Yeah, definitely. He's definitely a fan of tech death too, so it makes sense. And we all kind of have like our own style of metal that we prefer. Like I prefer deathcore. Lenny prefer. I think metalcore is like your favorite type of metal. Yeah, and then like Markula, our guitar player, he's like into black metal. He's into tech death, and our drummer's into tech death. But we all love deathcore, death metal, and black metal at the same time. So it just fucking.
During this time too.
Oh yeah.
So it's just fucking work. Preston here from Sheer Cold. If you haven't picked up your copy of Street Life magazine, do it today.